What are you drinking?
Vodka tonic.
Nice.
I guess this is easier than trying to find my mute button. You can hear the whole operation here.
This is like Huel on Liquor Fueled. He just had everything right there with him.
Normally I run downstairs, but I figured I don't want to keep you waiting like every few minutes. So I brought the ice chest upstairs.
All right.
Hardcore drinker. Oh, fuck. Actually, I forgot my lime juice. See, this is why it was good to do it now instead of later. So hold on one second.
Tastes awesome. I did tonic once. I didn't like tonic. Tonic water is gross. I'm not going to wait for this thing to finish, so I'm gonna go ahead and start the show.
Sounds good. Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Let's be there. Clean up. All right. 1, 2, 3. Hey, everybody. Welcome to episode, goddamn, 33 of The Rich Dickman Show, the podcast that is slightly better than mediocre. I am your guest host, as usual, I am Rem. And, hey, let's do this. Huel's not here. Huel's out banging his wife all weekend. God bless you, Huel. I miss you. We'll see you next week. But, all right, here we go. Hey, Jules.
Hey, Rem.
Your real name is Ray. You're not Jules. It's at Jules Winfield from Twitter. It is our buddy Ray, contributor to the show. Ladies and gentlemen, ask and you shall receive. When I was looking for a replacement, this guy DM'd me and said, yo, I'll hop in. And I said, okay, cool, you're in. So Ray, what's going on, buddy?
Well, I think the only reason that I'm here is because, as I suggested, the what was that, the blow up doll that you pranked your dad with on his birthday, it declined your invitation. So, well, yes, your cousin, yeah.
Yeah, the blow-up doll was busy with my cousin tonight. Yeah, my cousin, the Italian Stallion, he was supposed to join me tonight, but he's got a lot of like real life shit going on. He's got 2 kids and a pregnant wife, and he's training to fight this weekend and kick some dude's ass out in Middletown, Connecticut. So good luck, Italian Stallion. We'll see you maybe in a couple weeks. Not that he'll listen, because I don't even think my mom listens. So, all right, let's set this up. Okay, so first of all. I've got a few thinking with your Dickman questions that came in over the week since it was a very popular segment from last week. I'm going to save those for Huel, all right, because Huel is our professional advice giver. He knocked those out in record time, and hopefully we have a couple more coming in after this episode. I would also like to address 2 things. All right. Number 1, it is official. All your Rich Dickman needs, you go to richdickman.com. Boom. I did it, Ray. richdickman.com.
I saw that, and I was very impressed, and I went to the site immediately.
And it looks exactly the same.
Exactly. It looks exactly the same, except at the top in the address bar, it's got the .wordpress is missing. So it's a little more efficient.
A little more efficient, a little more official. I've set producer Ryan on the project of learning how to WordPress and to pretty that up. So there you go, richdickman.com. Second thing, to the Not for Human Consumption podcast, I have your voicemails. I would play them on this episode, but Huel's not here, and I don't think Ray would enjoy them as much as Huel would. And no offense, Ray, but apparently the audience at the NFHC podcast really enjoy Huel, so I'm going to save those for him.
I would say it's not just their audience. I think that's pretty much the entire internet.
No, it is. It is. I will, as I tweeted to Alan from the Not for Human Consumption podcast, I will strap my back onto Huel's dick and I will ride that rocket ship to the moon. Cause he is my ticket out of this hellhole. Yes, sir. All right. So we're going to do a couple things tonight. I've got a couple things to talk about. Ray apparently has some questions that I said he is allowed to ask. Nothing is off limits. And if it is, I just won't answer it.
That works. Or just edit it out.
Yeah. Hey, you're not wearing your El Abogado shirt.
Oh, shoot. You know what? That would have been smart of me.
Yeah, I appreciate you buying one and taking a picture. El Abogado shirt. It's Christmas time, everybody. Go to Amazon.com, search Rich Dickman, order your either El Abogado shirt, the original one, or the multicolored one, or get your slightly better than mediocre shirt. They're great stocking stuffers, right?
Absolutely. I did ask my wife if she would, permit me to buy one for her, and she at least didn't say no. She did not say 100%. Absolutely not. So I think I'm going to do that.
That's definitely a yes.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah, she just doesn't want to give you the satisfaction.
Yes, that is correct.
Yeah.
That's
How long
how
you been
wives do
married?
it. Let me think about it, since 2010. So what's
Too
it,
long.
almost, it's in December. It'll be 8 years. Yeah.
You got married in December?
On the 28th, yes.
Do you hate your wedding guests? Like, what the fuck?
Well, no, it was actually, no. So this is kind of weird, but we actually did the quick courthouse wedding so that we could squeeze it in under the tax deadline the annual.
So you get the tax break and the insurance.
Yes. So that was
perfect.
what actually happened. But, we still have to celebrate at that time, which obviously you got Christmas and New Year's sandwiching it. So it's really difficult everyone's always got plans, right? So finding the time to actually celebrate and spend time together is always the challenge. But
yeah, you got a good excuse not to.
Yes.
13 years, Ray. 13 years.
The other one that's pretty fun about, speaking of like that kind of stuff, and this is one of those really weird things, is my wife's birthday's in May. And then both my daughters are born the 2 days following her birthday in sequential days. So, then Mother's Day is about a week before that. So I pretty much, I can knock out like all these things. I pretty much have like December, I knock out all that stuff. And then May, I knock out all, and then I'm just done for the year, which is pretty awesome. And
yeah, that's good.
I can't forget any of them because if I remember one birthday, I'll remember all of them. So I got that. I got that on lock. Yeah.
My kids are born 18 months and a day apart. So
nice.
one is May 3rd, one is November 2nd. It takes me, I have to pause a minute or two to remember which one is the third and which one's the second.
Yeah. I do the same thing. Well, but I have to do that with all three of them. I got, wait, the wife's is this one, the older one's this one. Yeah, it takes a while. Right. Well, speaking of birthdays, how was your birthday?
Oh man, thank you for asking. And thank you, to everybody who wished me happy birthday. Birthdays are terrible. As you get old, I don't know how old you are, Ray. How old are you?
33.
33. Okay. You still have time while you're still a young man. I just turned 38. It's awful. Birthdays get worse each year. Let's see. My kids almost forgot it was my birthday.
Oh man.
My wife got me a bottle of bourbon so I would get drunk and pass out and not bother anybody. My father, what's that?
Could be worse, but okay. Yeah. Continue. Yeah. Sorry.
My father had surgery on his shoulder yesterday. So my parents, who typically called to say happy birthday, didn't because they were in the hospital.
Yes.
And, and it was, they're just so goddamn, they suck, man. Birthdays are just terrible. I had a whole rant I was going to go on. I don't even feel like it anymore because I'm just so
just exhausted from.
I'm just so sick of birthdays.
Did you work?
Yeah, I did work.
Okay,
I went in early so I could leave early. So I didn't work a full day, but it was almost a full day.
Yeah.
I came home to an empty house waiting for everybody else to get home. And we went out to the hibachi restaurant. Cause I love the hibachi show. You ever been to the hibachi restaurant?
Oh, or hibachi or like the tip on?
I guess they call it the tip on over where you are.
Is it the same? Okay. That's what I was
thinking.
Yeah.
Where they're cooking at the table in front of you.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. I love that shit.
Oh man. That's fun. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's squirting sake into your mouth and that's always fun. But I mean, that's it. Like that's it. That's the end of my birthday.
Yeah.
I didn't even get a cake or candles. Like, that's whatever. I got to put so much effort into everybody else's birthday. Everybody forgets about mine. Don't get married. Oh, everybody.
I know. I would love to talk to you about that at some point. Just the marriage aspect. You seem so depressed about it, but no, birthdays, going back to birthdays. I have some birthday stories. I remember when I was probably in junior high, my family took me out to Chevy's with a bunch of people, and then they called the Chevy's people come over, right? And they, happy birthday from all of us to you.
Yeah.
And I was
awesome.
Like, well, I'm one of those people that don't like attention on my birthday. I just want to be able to lay low, relax, and just do whatever I want. And so when someone else does something, I was like, nope, I'm out here. And I literally ran out. We were in the outside patio. I ran outside. I was like, I'm out here.
Now you're being a dick about it. Like, I don't necessarily want a ton of attention. I just want people to remember it's my birthday. That's it.
Yeah.
And let me tell you another thing here, and that's coming back to me now. Fucking Facebook. Facebook has ruined birthdays, right? Because, yeah, Facebook is fine for those people that you don't see and they live across the country or you haven't talked to them in 20 years and they say happy birthday. That part's great. Your own family, your in-laws, people that are part of your family you've known for 20 years, when all the best they can do is send a happy birthday message over Facebook, like that's more insulting to me than forgetting about it.
It's because they got the reminder, which is ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's like, that's all it is.
I go out of my way to send a text message. Nobody likes phone calls. I especially don't like phone calls, but I will actually physically text a message to somebody, and a personalized message, and say, hey, happy birthday, thinking of you. To my, family members, the people across the country, they get the Facebook bullshit.
Yeah.
I want that. I want somebody to take the time to text to me rather than getting a reminder in their goddamn Facebook to say happy birthday.
Well, that, or if you want to take it one step further and show them you really care, then you'll obviously send them an e-card.
Yes. Yes,
or
right.
Dick pics.
Well, the dick pics, I stopped a few years ago.
I meant to ask you if it would have been, I could see Huel just sending you a dick pic. just because.
Lucky for me, Huel forgot. He texted me today to say happy birthday. Yeah. And e-cards, I'm glad you brought that up. Every year since 2012, I've been sending Jules an e-card from 123 Greeting saying happy birthday.
Oh, 123 Greeting too. That one's been around a long time. I'm pretty sure I remember that one from back in the dial-up days.
I get a yearly reminder to send my e-cards to the people I send them to.
That is fantastic. I was thinking about this actually yesterday. I was thinking that how on Facebook every few years or for people that you've been friends with for a number of years, whenever you became friends on Facebook, they have the friendiversary reminders. I was thinking that if you really wanted to steal somebody's thunder on their birthday, you basically only add people as your friend on their birthday. So every year on their birthday, they're reminded that is your mutual friendiversary. I think it's kind of
you seem like you sound like an awesome dude by going the extra step, right?
Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah.
That's smart. Good thinking. So you're out there in California, right?
Yes.
And your house hasn't burned down yet, so thank God.
Yeah, I'm let's see. I'm not that far away. I'm 1 to 2 hours away from the Northern California major fires, which have actually calmed down a lot now. It's rained pretty good the last couple of days.
Oh, good. That shit was terrible. Like the whole state was burning. It seemed like, my God,
it was awful. Just going outside, it was really, really bad. Well, and as soon as it started, I was completely in the dark too, because I pretty much just go to work, do my own thing. I don't really read the news or watch the news or anything like that. And a weird side note, I actually don't have a sense of smell. So I actually was at work one day, went outside and I was like, man, it's really kind of foggy outside, right? And then somebody came in a few hours later and was like, man, at least those fires are really doing a number on us, right? And I'm thinking, I have no idea what you're talking about. I live under a rock. And then sure enough, come to find out that the whole town of Paradise pretty much got obliterated. I mean, just decimated. They're still sifting through. They're just trying to find bodies and stuff like that. It's really awful, but I was completely unaware for the first couple of days.
So sad. All that fire stuff, that's tragic and sad. But you said something that piqued my interest, and we're going to focus on that for a minute here. Mm-hmm. You don't have a sense of smell?
I do not have.
Explain yourself.
Yeah. Really? So here's what's always funny. As I get older, I don't hear this as much, but especially in my 20s when I would tell people this, there was 2 responses. One from girls that would say, "Oh, does that mean you can't taste?" And 2 from, I don't want to get too graphic here, maybe, but guys would say, "Oh, so you can," guys are like, "Oh, so you can eat dirty pussy?" That was literally the 2 responses I would get. But regardless of that, I can't smell. And when people ask me if I can taste, yes, I can taste. My tongue still has taste buds, so I can taste. I think I have a different sense of taste because I don't have the supplemental smell to go along with it. But I can still taste. I just eat. I don't know. I have a weird, kind of a picky food taste.
Have any of your kids inherited your lack of sense of smell?
No, I think my youngest daughter has a heightened sense of smell. She, we we got a cat a couple months ago. And she will go nowhere near the litter box, even though, I mean, not that I would know, but I don't think it smells that bad. According to the rest of the family, it doesn't smell that bad.
If I could lose any of my senses, it would be sense of smell. 'Cause it does me no good. When my dog's old, right? And every once in a while he'll make a boom boom in the dining room, right? Mm-hmm. That shit will wake me up in the middle of the night. and it just drives me crazy. So I wish I didn't smell things. So I'm jealous of you. You're not missing anything. I can tell you that. Yeah, no, really, you're not missing anything at all. Like perfume is horrible. Heard, yeah. You don't have to worry about people's farts. That's awesome. Yes. You can walk into a public restroom and not have to sniff the air first to see what happened. Mm-hmm. See, I can't even ask you that. Like I have this habit, like whenever I walk into a restroom, I have to sniff the air. Rich Dickman audience, if any of you do this, please tweet me at Remgar. Let me know if it's just me being weird. And it's not like any type of sexual fetish or anything. Like, I want to know what I'm walking into. You know what I mean?
I get what you're saying. It's like scanning the room. You know, if you're a secret agent, you know, you got to scan for threats, right?
Yeah. I mean, and I can't use the bathroom if anybody's in there anyways. So I think I'm going and sniffing around. Like, what's happening here?
Well, so it leaves me in two situations. One, if I put on cologne, I have no idea if it smells too strong or not, right? And then two, I have I guess, fear of smelling because I can't tell if I smell. So not that I don't know, people have never really told me I smell, but generally say that I smell okay, but
you might have that Asian gene where you have no BO.
That's another interesting thing that you were bringing up. Did you see that I was saying that I just found out that I'm Asian?
Shut up. No, I didn't see that.
Yeah.
How Asian are you?
25%.
God damn, that's my favorite culture. So well, that's fantastic. You're like my favorite person now.
But see, I just became part minority. So I used to be all white, and now I'm part a minority. So isn't that so weird? So basically, I don't know if you want me to tell much of the story, but
yes, I do.
It sounds pretty interesting, right? So my older sisters, I got 4 siblings, an older sister, a younger brother, younger sister, and my 2 sisters live together with one of my sisters is married, so the 3 of them live together, and so they get together and they start, let's put together the family tree, right? So as they're doing this, they're saying, well. And I don't know exactly how they're doing this, ancestry.com, something like that, right? They're whatever methods they're using.
They're supplying the drug companies with all their genetic information. So
that's exactly how it started on Twitter in this conversation. Yes. So anyway, yeah, they're doing their research, right? And then they come across a couple paths where they say, why is this person here? Why is this person here? So they decide to, for whatever reason, contact our dad, and they say, hey, would you mind taking a DNA test? And he's like, sure, why not? So he goes and he takes it, and it comes back 50%, 50% Asian, which is, idea. He had literally no idea. So all of a sudden it's this can of worms. He's like, how the fuck does this happen? So, okay. So both his parents were white. The neighbors were Asian, but there was no clear indication of a specific person ever, knocking on the door. Mm-hmm. And so he ended up getting in contact with some of these people, and they took some DNA tests, and things worked out. My sisters both took DNA tests. They came back 25 or roughly 25% Asian. So I didn't take a DNA test myself, but if my dad's 50%, 2 of my siblings are 25, I'm pretty sure that I'm 25% Asian as well.
That's amazing.
But the first thing I told my dad was, well, that explains your driving, 1. And 2, he was a CPA for a while. So I said, well, that explains the math. So
that explains that. There you go.
Yeah. So everything makes sense now. Everything.
There's stereotypes for a reason. Now you need to start applying for like minority assistance and shit because that's awesome.
I was thinking about it. I started making the joke that I used to be racist, but now I'm self-deprecating. If that makes any sense, but I don't know. Yeah, I'm part minority.
This is the Rich Dickman Show. There are no other podcasts on earth with this many minority personalities. So this is the most diverse podcast. I've got a Mexican and I've got an Asian now. And who knows what what Mama Rem is, because she's a little bit of everything. and a woman. So yeah. So I've got a Mexican, I've got an Asian, and I've got an elderly woman and my mom. So
Nice.
boom.
All the
Most
bases
diverse
covered.
podcast. Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. All right.
Excellent.
Well, very good. That is. Do you now? Okay. So let me ask you. As I've said, the Asian is my favorite culture because I enjoy the food of the Asians, of all the Asians. Right now. Well, so you're in California. You've been in California your whole life?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Do you enjoy Asian food?
Absolutely.
Okay. What's it like over there? Because over in California, okay. So I was in Seattle for 2 summers for a couple weeks with the reserves. And one thing I noticed being in Seattle and Tacoma in that area, was the large population of Asian people, which makes sense because it's the West Coast, right? Mm-hmm. So where you are in California, are there a lot of Asian people?
I wouldn't say a lot. I'm in farm country, basically the valley.
Okay.
So
you're in Republican California.
Yeah, this area, yes. So so this area. So Southern California is more Democratic, and this area, more Republican.
Okay.
But being farm country, or that's where all the agriculture is. There's a lot more Hispanic people. So tons of Hispanic people. It's like white and Hispanic majority. And so it's just one of those things. I don't know. Everybody these days claims that everybody's racist, right? And I don't know. I grew up in primarily white and Hispanic communities. And, you'd see somebody that's black and there's like one of them at your school or 2 of them, right? But never thought they were different. But apparently everyone's racist because, you don't, no, whatever.
Because you don't think they're different. How dare you not think they're different?
Exactly.
Yeah. We go through years of schooling where being told we're all the same. Then all of a sudden when you start thinking everybody's the same, you're racist.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's a fucked up time in our history, man.
It's crazy.
God damn it.
But there's not that, to answer the question, there's not that many Asian. I don't know. That's the thing. I never, the point I was trying to make is I never noticed that something was different. Like that there's only one of this or 2. So I just don't even really notice that kind of thing. If you try to tell me,
human being.
Yeah. If you tried to tell me to break down the percentages,
racist.
I'd be like, I don't even ask. I don't know. 50-50. You're like but there's more than 2. I'm like, I don't even know. I don't even know.
All right. So follow-up question to that. Is California the worst place in the world?
In a lot of ways, yes. So, okay. So, man, we could talk about this this is the thing. So I've listened to so many of your podcasts. We could just talk forever, I'm sure. I've, gathered so much information, just listen to your stuff so much. Anyway, so getting sidetracked. So as far as California, so there are a million reasons why it sucks. Going back to one of the earlier, podcasts from this show, you guys were talking about cost of living or, median house prices and things like that. And you guys, it's like over 200,000, whatever. So I was like, I wonder what it is here in California. So you guys were roughly 220,000, whatever you guys were saying. Mm-hmm. I Google it and like 3 years ago here in California, it's over $400,000. It's like insane. Like go to the Bay Area and San Francisco. It's just, if you're not making $100,000 a year, you can't live there. Yeah. Which is insane. It's just nuts.
I was in San Francisco in 1999 and I remember seeing gas prices over $3 a gallon. And this was 1999 before everything just exploded, I was like, holy shit, this is expensive out here. And there's no place to park either.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. It's like the gas right now is like $4 a gallon over here. I don't know what it is anywhere else, but
God damn.
Everything's
expensive. It's coming down. It's back down. It's like under $2.70 a gallon now. But
what? That sounds amazing.
And I know, and that's expensive around here too, because Connecticut, we have a ton of gas taxes.
Oh man.
So, hey,
anyways. But the weather's nice, pretty much year round. I went to school, after I graduated high school, I went to college down in San Diego for a year. So San Diego is amazing. If you're going to live somewhere in California, I would go there. It's still expensive, but not as expensive as like LA and San Francisco. And the weather, year round, you're talking, the delta from 70 degrees is like 10 degrees, right? You're like 80 at the most and 60 at the worst. So you pretty much just wear whatever the heck you want all the time.
And you pussies, when it's 60 degrees out, you guys are like, oh my God, it's so cold.
Yeah. Well, but having lived there, I live in Northern California. We do get the seasons. Now, I get it. Everyone says, oh, you guys from California, you think it's cold. Well, where I live is like an hour from the actual mountains where they have the ski resorts and stuff. And then like an hour and a half from the ocean, which is really nice. So I kind of get about the coldest we get. That's why I was asking before we really started the show what the temperature is out there. So we get down to about 30 degrees here. It gets in the 20s every once in a while, like where I'm at, but which isn't too bad. But which is like kind of cold. But I get 4 seasons. I get in the summer it gets 110 degrees. In the spring, fall, you get the intermediate stuff, and then the winter it gets kind of cold. It rains. So
how far are you from Oregon? Oregon. Where
I am I'm basically in Sacramento area, like right near Sacramento. So it is probably, it's like 8 hours at least.
Oh, Jesus. Okay. That's a lot further than I thought it would be. Yeah, that's big.
Maybe it's not quite 8.
8 hours for me will take me into Montreal.
Oh, wow. Yeah. So you can actually get to a whole new country.
Yeah. So that's cool. That's, what was I going to say? Shit. I forgot.
That's what I do all the time.
All right. So, let's see. So I had to decorate for Christmas this past weekend, and decorating for Christmas sucks. So I asked people on Twitter, how they felt about decorating for Christmas. And so let's read your reply first. So my question was, because we all know what my job is. All right. If you've been listening for a while, you know who I work for, and I'm trying to eliminate many of those references to that. If you hear some weird cuts in Jules talking in the last couple episodes, that's why. But my job makes it kind of hard to enjoy the holidays because, basically from mid-October until Christmas, we're just going nonstop, right? And it's one pain in the ass after the other. After you're off for a holiday to come back to an even bigger mess, whether it's Veterans Day or Thanksgiving. So it's really hard to kind of enjoy the holidays and just enjoy what they're supposed to mean. So when I have to waste a day off decorating for Christmas and putting up stupid Christmas decorations that I have to take down, a month later while it's cold out, I don't enjoy that. So I asked some people, do you enjoy decorating for Christmas? Why or why not? And at Jules Winfield, that's you, said, I don't like decorating one bit. And to avoid it, you bribe your kids with hot chocolate and drive around to look at lights one night before Christmas. They dig it. It saves me any real work. That's brilliant.
Yeah. And can I elaborate on that too? So here's the other thing. So for Thanksgiving, we went to my parents' house that live about an hour away. And we dropped them off for the weekend. And the plan was that my parents on Friday wake up, they go with some other relatives and they go find the Christmas tree, right? And then they come back and they decorate it. So my kids get to decorate that tree. Same weekend, my in-laws who live in town here, they have our kids go over and decorate their tree. So they've already decorated 2 trees by like a month before Christmas, right? So I feel like we don't really need to do too much. We'll put up a tree. We'll do a little bit of decorating, but they're decorated out. I mean, they've got a lot of decorating in their system. They don't really need too much more from our end. So I minimize it around here.
See, my wife looks at it like it's something that needs to be done. You got to get the Christmas decorations done the day after Thanksgiving. Put the tree up, get everything out, and get all the shit out on the lawn too. It's like, oh God damn it. Yeah. Okay, so Jam T Lander says, as a former shift worker, I say putting up the Christmas decorations was a joyful event every year. Our group got to do it, but then again, we usually did it after 3:00 since our job then mostly was to keep awake and alert, and everything is funny this early in the morning. So 3:00 in the morning. So, all right, Jam T Lander.
I mean, if you're just killing time, I could see how that, that's not as, that's like a lifesaver as opposed to a chore.
Yeah. No, if you're doing it with a group of people you work with and you're having fun doing it, that could be fun too.
Yeah. You're not being coerced into it. But, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, right. At John_Fowler_ says, actually, I think it makes the holiday more real to me. And yes, I set up the tree. Okay. So maybe I'm not the only, asshole. Maybe I am the only asshole who doesn't like maybe. Let's see what else.
Us too. It's both of us. I just defer to everyone else.
Yeah. Let's see. Umaroni, at Umaroni, one of our patrons, thank you, Umaroni, says, decorating takes time away from WoW. Still plays WoW. Do you still play WoW?
Wow. Okay. That was another thing I wanted to talk to you about. So we basically, I think, had the same lifespan in World of Warcraft. Yeah. I bought the new expansion and 2 months of game time and let it expire. So, and it was like, all right, but yeah, it was, I don't know.
I lost my love for that game during Siege of Orgrimmar.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah. Last one here is from my mother at rem_mama. I love decorating, hate taking it down after. Unfortunately, no one sees it as we don't do a lot of entertaining in December. Want to come over and help take things out of the attic? No. This is where I learned to hate decorating for Christmas, when I had to do it with my parents. And my father would make me set up the Christmas village. And that was never any fun because it never went together the way I wanted it to. Luckily enough, though, because of my father's shoulder surgery and his retirement, they will be home and entertaining for the month of December as people come to visit, because, you know, when you're Italian and you have surgery, no matter how minor or major, it's a life-ending event and people need to come over and pay their respects.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
So I went to see my father today, and he's there on the couch and all bundled up and got his arm in a sling, and we all have to pay attention to him and say, "Hey, how you doing?"
Yeah. Well,
yeah. Good times.
Did you have to bring him anything? You know, like a hot meal or I don't know.
No, Mama Rem's got that. Yeah, no, I just show up, and it was my birthday, so they gave me a card. So.
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah. You show me like, where's my card? Where's my birthday stuff?
Yeah,
nice to see you, Dad.
Ray, you recently went to a dispensary for the first time.
Yes. So
tell me, one, what prompted that, and two, how was it?
What prompted it was my wife. So I guess, actually, no.
Okay.
My experience, this is another thing I was kind of curious what your experience is. So, and we'll get to that in a second, I guess. My experience is back in my 20s, smoked a couple joints here and there, but it just never really sat well with me. For whatever reason, it didn't really work out well. I just felt weird, didn't like it. So since then, and most of the people I knew that used any sort of weed, whatever it was, whether it was smoking it, edibles, whatever, they all seemed kind of like losers. And that's just my circle. So I always kind of had this, like, it's like a stigma with that. Right. Mm-hmm. So I've always felt like, it's kind of something I'll steer clear of. I'm just going to drink as much as I can every night until I pass out. So, you know, cause that's totally acceptable. So anyway,
yeah, so my wife's that,
right. So like, my wife deals with a little bit of anxiety. It's not like really bad or anything. It's not debilitating, but, that, and then like one of my kids has selective mutism. So my wife's like looking for ways to help people that are, just better ways to help people. Right. So she's always kind of like looking into that stuff. Like what kind of stuff can we find that'll help out? And one of the things she came across, she's like, oh yeah. So any CBD, whatever it is. Right. So she's like, all right, well, let's go to the dispensary. So she'd gone there with a friend, a couple months ago, maybe got some little stuff, some little gummies, and ate those and enjoyed those. And, so then she's like, over the weekend, after we dropped the kids off to go decorate at the grandparents' house, we were like, well, we got all weekend. We can do whatever we want. So we go to the dispensary, and for the first time in like years, I tried something. I took like a couple gummies, and actually text Jules too, cause I was like, hey, so you gotta fill me in on this. I have no idea what these things mean. There's numbers on the side of them. I don't know, they have whatever information on them, says 100 something, 60, 30. I was like, I literally have no idea what I'm doing here. So I don't want to start popping things and get crazy. But yeah, it was interesting. I had it. I didn't feel that great still, and didn't really have that great of a time. But he said that the recovery one works well for running, which we got one of those. So I gotta try that more than once. And then the other ones, I don't know. It just I basically just ate those, and I just get lazy as fuck. I would sit there. We had so much, like a fridge full of Thanksgiving leftovers.
You ate them
on Friday? No, I fucking ordered pizza because I didn't want to get off the couch to go over to the fridge. And I ordered like a medium pizza, just me and my wife, like a medium pizza and like 2 orders of breadsticks and some wings. Like I literally, like, this is bad. I'm a super high degenerate right now. So I don't,
Were you texting Huel while you were high?
No, I did not do that. I was too lazy to pick up my phone. Well, other than to order the pizza. Yeah. But I'm curious. So what, I know you've talked about going and getting that stuff. What's your, I don't know if you've used it that much. Have you got much experience?
My official stance, Ray, is that I have never and will never use any sort of illegal substances.
I believe it.
Okay. Now CBD oil is not illegal, and I do have a supply of CBD gummies to help me sleep, and they have been. I've had 2 different brands of CBD. The first one was great, and I slept wonderfully. The second one, they sent me. They overdosed me. Right, I ordered. What did I order? I ordered 700 milligrams, shit. And they sent me 1,500 milligrams. At no extra charge. That's what they sent. And I have noticed that. Depending if I have 1 versus 2, like if I have 2 of those gummies, I'll have like fucking restless leg syndrome all night and I won't be able to sleep. But if I have 1, I'll be able to sleep. Yeah. As far as the dispensary, they just opened, last Tuesday. Yeah, last Tuesday. They just opened last Tuesday. And, interestingly enough, the 2 dispensaries that opened in Massachusetts, have brought in $2.2 million in just the first few days of sales. It's
wow.
Like, no shit. Okay. No shit, you fucking idiots. Of course it will.
Wow.
Yeah. But old Rem does not use any illegal substances officially on the podcast. So, we'll have to stick with Huel's knowledge and information on that stuff. Now, we did elect a new governor, and he takes office in January. And he said legalizing recreational in Connecticut will be one of his priorities. Of course it will, because he needs to raise revenue. So we'll see. We'll see in a couple of years how we're doing over here.
I mean, if you're raising revenue and you're making 2.2 million from 1 dispensary, I mean, that's obviously going to have an impact.
And unofficially, Ray, you can drink a whole lot of alcohol to go to sleep, and you'll wake up and you'll feel terrible, and you might not even sleep well at all. Or you can enjoy some type of edible product of some sort and sleep soundly and feel rested and ready to go.
What's your wife's stance on that stuff?
Oh boy.
Because I'll tell you what, my wife takes those sleeping ones, and for whatever reason, she gets way horny, and it's great.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you could talk her into it, it might be worth it for you.
My wife is, drugs are bad. Okay. Yeah. That's my wife. They're still drugs.
Oh, well, maybe we'll have my wife give your wife a call, and she can, try and convince her otherwise.
I need everybody's
common
wife
thread
to chime in.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, put that out to the, what are they called? The dickheads?
No, they're not the Dickman heads.
Yeah, there you go.
The dickheads are already taken by another show.
That's right.
We're the Dickman heads.
But yes, maybe they can chime in and call the voicemail line and send some wonderful, encouraging words to your wife.
That voicemail line has been great, huh?
Yes, absolutely.
I love that. Unfortunately, now, no offense to you, Ray. But I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got 6 voicemails ready to go. Mm-hmm. And that's just from the last episode. A couple of them are from the not for human consumption, people. And also I can't get them through to you. There was 2 of them I wanted to play with you on the show, but I can't because I can't get the line to work you can't hear it apparently. But fine, yeah. The voicemails, I want to save these for Huel because they're calling because they want Huel to react to what they have to say. But the voicemail line has been great. So if you guys have anything, it is 860-316-4776. I forgot to give that out at the top of the show. Give us the voicemail a call, leave a comment. There was one guy who called to tell us that, his father died, with cream of mushroom soup. We were talking about,
oh my God,
last week. I'm going to play it and you can't hear it probably, but I'm going to play it anyway so my audience can hear it. And if you can hear it, cool, but here we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm listening to this bullshit episode. I just want to say that my dad died putting cream of mushroom soup on shit. Also, fuck bitches, get money. Alright? Get a goddamn space heater. I can't hang up dramatically. Fuck off.
I could hear that, and that was oh my god. Oh, yeah. I'm gonna start crying laughing. That made my day. That's so fucking funny.
His father died putting cream of mushroom soup on shit. Also, fuck bitches, get money. And get a goddamn space heater. Oh man, you are laughing. What you guys don't know at home is that Ray, you should have left that on while you're laughing, dude. Don't ever mute yourself again when you're laughing. Ray has his camera on, and I'm watching him. Ray's a good looking fella, and he's over here. He's doubled down over in laughter. I think he's throwing up now. He's muted again.
No, I was trying not to make too much noise making a drink.
He's making more drinks. Good.
Well, I was trying to make the drink. That's why I muted, because I was making the drink, and I didn't trust myself to not completely mess that up. But like smash my microphone in half while I'm trying to hit the unmute button, I guess, while laughing. God damn it. That was so funny.
All right, Ray, we are at a point in the show where I am just about done with my first glass of whiskey.
Okay.
And it will start taking over soon. So if you had any questions you wanted to ask me about any podcast I've ever done, I know you've been a long time listener. When did you start listening? Back in the original Triple T days?
Yeah, I think I caught on. So I think we both, around that time, were you still able to listen to podcasts, throughout the day?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I was doing the same thing at that time, where 40 hours a week working and listening to podcasts. And so I think I caught on pretty early, like episode 8 or something, like early enough that I guess an early adopter.
You probably hopped on the first Coltrane episode, which was episode 6.
Yes. Yeah.
That's when everybody came aboard. Yeah.
Actually, I think it was just after, I think it was like episode 8, because I remember I found it and then was like, oh, cause I listened to like CTR or whatever. Like that's when we were playing Warcraft. So, and man, it's hard to fill 40 hours a week of podcasts and stuff like that, if you think about it. But yeah, I went back and listened to that one. I was like, oh, nice. So anyway, yeah, listened to it, every week, and that, and then pretty much everything else that you've done.
Now, did you ever write a letter in the Triple T, or did you just tell us one things? You did write a letter.
Mm-hmm.
What was your letter about? So many of them, I don't remember. Do you remember?
So I think I did a couple. I remember writing them and trying to harass you and talk a little shit about you using an iPhone, and that you're trying to add stuff about, iPhones are for idiots because there's only one button and they can't handle more than one button or something like that.
That's right. I can't.
So, but since then you've converted apparently. So I don't know if I can make fun of you for that anymore.
No, I do have a Galaxy now.
Which is, I like the Samsung phones. Anyway, I what was it? There was something about anonymous posts online or something like that. Like, should they be anonymous? Should you be able to post things anonymously? And I don't know if it was like the Warcraft forums, or I don't know what it was. It was something, but I was saying, well, basically my argument was, when you go on like ESPN.com, cause I like there's a few sports that I like to follow, right? You go on the comments, and if it's anonymous people, well, you just see like the worst trash ever, right? Like the worst comments about like, man, that guy barely got that first down. They're like, you suck. Racist, whatever. And you're like, whoa, that was a little overboard. Like, oh, you're a fan of that team. And they just go off on just crazy, insane stuff. As opposed to when it has their Facebook, like their name, they're a little more kind with what they say. So, not saying right or wrong. I'm just saying it has an effect. And I don't know. Did you deal much with selecting the emails, or was that Jules?
So we were lucky enough where most of the time we got just like the 3 emails a week. Every once in a while we'd have a few extra and we'd be able to roll them over. There was a time where it was getting heavy. We were getting several a week, and we'd have content for several episodes. But it was all Jules. I let her handle all that and decide what I liked going into it blind. I liked having a genuine reaction on the show. I felt that was more, genuine. I had access to the email account, and I would see the letters come in, and I'd take a quick glance. Every once in a while I would read the full letter, beforehand, especially if they were long.
Yeah. I could see that. Yeah.
There was a period of the show where I took myself too seriously, and I wanted to give the best advice I thought I could. So then, I'd really try to come up with a good answer, but that wasn't fun. So I stopped doing that. I just started reacting on the show.
I think one of the earlier episodes, I say earlier, like, pre-50, I guess, or whatever. Like, there was one episode where somebody had whatever it was, like depression, something like that. I don't remember the particulars. What I do remember is that you said, why don't you get out and take a walk and that'll help? And you said some stuff like that. And you guys had to readdress it the next week because apparently you got a bunch of flack for saying, well, you can't just go out and walk it off. Like, that doesn't fix it. And I just remember thinking, well, if you have, being active helps, it increases happiness. That's a proven fact. It's not like you were saying, all you got to do is go for a walk and you're going to be better. It was start by doing something. That's how I took it. And I just remember, I don't know, you probably remember more about it, but I remember. Well,
see, fucking people, people who are depressed, you got you have different types of depressed people, right? You got the people who actually suffer from real, genuine depression. All right. The people who just can't get out of bed in the morning. And that's a real horrible thing that they need to overcome. And you do that by taking the first step and being active. But then you have a whole bunch of people who get off on saying that they're depressed, and they don't really, maybe they have some of the signs and symptoms of depression, but they're not like clinically depressed like some of these real people are. And they get super offended when you tell them anything they don't want to hear. Like, you know what? Go for a walk. It's been a proven fact, scientifically proven, that activity helps with depression.
Yeah. And so that's not saying it fixes it, but it helps.
It helps. Yeah. And so I've read lots of things, and by no means am I a psychologist or am I one to give advice on depression. And God, how I gave advice for 114 episodes on things I have know nothing about. I don't know. But I've read where for people who are clinically depressed, people who suffer from real depression, little victories, something so little as cleaning up your room, because a lot of times people who suffer from depression, they don't take the time to clean their surroundings. So things pile up, they get cluttered, becomes more messy, becomes more depressing. Taking that step to actually clean your room leads to a feeling of satisfaction, of accomplishment, which leads to the next step, which is getting out of the house and going for a walk. It's the little steps. It's not a cure, but these things certainly can. I mean, how much harm is it going to do to go for a walk?
Exactly. Just baby steps. Literally.
Yeah. So, I mean, some of the flack we'd get, like,
I bet. I can only imagine. Oh man, it'd be fun to see that stuff.
but it was stupid shit too. There was, somebody had written an email, or no, Jules and one of us had said something like, we got gypped on the deal. All right.
I remember what you're about to, I know what you're about to say. This is a good one. Yeah.
We got an email the next week saying that we were being offensive to the Romani people. Like, I'm reading this, like, I didn't know what the fuck a Romani person was. I know the term, we got gypped. Okay. I wasn't trying to offend anybody. I didn't know that gypsies were a race of people. I thought they were, I had no idea.
I know.
And when they said, when I read the words Romani people, I thought I was talking about Romanian people. I'm like, what the fuck? There's gypsies are from Romania? Right? What's happening here?
Well, it goes back to, I don't understand how someone can unintentionally be a racist. Like, you just say something that's kind of, I don't know. I've heard people say that for years oh, I got gypped on that. And I've never heard someone ever say something about how that's intentionally degrading to one sector of people. Like,
we're no longer allowed to make any mistakes. God forbid you say something wrong by accident. Racism. Listen, racism is terrible, but it's a deliberate thing. Like, you have to go out of your way to be racist. You know what I mean? Casual racism. That's not a thing. You watch a Dave Chappelle special from the early 2000s. I mean,
it's good stuff. It's good stuff.
The sad thing about that is, like, the Dave Chappelle show. I was a big fan of the Dave Chappelle show on Comedy Central in 2001, 2002, 2003.
Oh yeah, it was great stuff.
It couldn't air these days. It would not get past any censor board.
Yeah.
Because of what we've turned, I don't want to get into the whole thing here because a lot of, because Jules gonna pick up on this and call me a racist again, but that's not the case.
Yeah.
No, it's just, we can't even talk to each other anymore.
I mean, you are like super racist.
Yeah.
Did I sound like Jules when I said that? You're super.
Yeah.
I should have downloaded, and had that ready to play back at you. So she was like, just get that clip of him.
Me and my alt-right following and, my Trump banner on my roof. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, but like doing Triple T today, like if I was still on that show, I couldn't be on that show because the amount of bullshit. I haven't listened. I don't know what the questions are that are coming in. I did see because last week I was complaining that they weren't advertising in their latest episode. So when I was looking through the Triple T account, I saw a couple weeks ago they had a question where, something along one of my guild members' politics doesn't agree with mine. How do I not, ignore them or some bullshit? It's like, what the fuck? What the fuck is happening?
I know, right? Like these are your fucking problems. Really? Yeah. This is your actually, like, you need advice on this?
Yeah. I mean, because somebody doesn't agree with you politically doesn't mean you shouldn't talk to them anymore. You should talk to them more to try to understand where they're coming from and maybe have a civil debate and try to get them to see your side of things too. We need to talk to each other more when we disagree, not less.
Exactly. Like you were saying the other day, I think it was you were talking about, you and Hugh were talking, and you were saying how you were talking to, I think, Chris O.C. and producer Ryan about how you guys were, I think, in New York or something like that. And I think one of you said, we don't talk anymore. It's always just yelling and arguing. And that's all it is. Yeah. It's pointless. When you get to that point, it's pointless. People need to actually have conversations about it. That's all it is.
Right. I mean, I know that Chris O.C. doesn't listen to the show anymore because we have a Patreon, patreon.com/Rich Dickman. And that's okay. I respect his opinion. Right. And so we don't even talk about the show. As much as I want to tell him all the cool things we're doing, we don't talk about the show. We talk about other things. And then you get, your audience at some point, and I know that I can't talk politics with Chris O.C. Because he is very hard to argue with. He has his opinions. He has his opinions. He has his mindset, and you're not going to change it. So, like, do you remember that Charlottesville tragedy last year where that dude ran over a bunch of people? Mm-hmm. And you had, the presidents, you had very fine people on both sides, and people just immediately thought he was claiming the Nazis were very fine people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I tried explaining to Chris, well, that's kind of not what he's saying, but you have the Nazis on one side and you have the Antifa guys on the other side, and they're all assholes. So there's two sides here. They're both assholes. And Chris, got all wrapped up and started calling me a Nazi. I'm like, are you fucking crazy? Like, are you out of your mind right now? Like, what are you doing? I'm just trying to tell you there's two sides of the story here. I'm not saying I agree with either of them.
Well, we already know you're a racist, so I guess you're a Nazi racist. It all makes sense now, right?
Yeah. I'm a communist Nazi racist.
There you go. Yeah. Whatever it is, you are. Well, how about, I actually just am thinking of this. So instead of, being political and, calling people out for being terrible, how about, I don't know how much of this you can get into exactly, but I have some coworkers people that I've worked with in the past or presently, that have been really terrible at what they do. And I thought maybe we could, go back and forth, take turns and see if you can one up one another with terrible coworker stories. And it doesn't have to be super specific. I mean, you don't have to give names and all or exactly what they're doing, but just incidents where somebody was just so awful. They probably should have just been fired.
Okay.
I don't know. Do you have any stories like that? Okay. So
I might. Let me see. I want to see where you're going with it.
So, how about, let me start with, this guy who let me think about this. The guy got a just regular old water bottle, the clear plastic water bottle, put a bunch of, acetone in it, which if you're not aware is highly flammable. It says extremely flammable, not highly on the label. And he put it on top of a welder, which not a great place to put it. And then wrote on it, "Do not drink." And then when someone pointed out and said, "Hey, you can't put that there," they said, "But I put 'do not drink' on it." And that was a good one.
Yeah. I worked a custodian job in a convalescent home, and there was this guy who just got back from back surgery, or he was going to have back surgery. One of those. He was having back trouble. And one of my buddies had said to me that, hey, take a look at Pete over there. He's cleaning the walls, but he's not touching the walls. So he's kind of like doing the wax on, wax off on the walls, but not touching the walls.
He's faking it.
Yeah. Well, no, you'll find out why. So later that day, I'll go downstairs to find good old Pete, crushing up a bunch of OxyContin and snorting them.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. So he was high off his fucking ass, not knowing he wasn't touching the wall.
Oh man, that's good. That is good. How about I work with I could complain about this drafter for days. So we use AutoCAD at work for, design stuff. And this guy will be working on a project, for days, just working on this thing, drawing in AutoCAD. And he's like one room over. Like I have my office and then he's in the next room over. And he'll come over to me and say, "Hey, I got a question." And he'll put this piece of paper down on my desk with all these hand-drawn sketches. And I'm like, why you have like everything drawn in the computer over there. I can walk 15 feet. Why the fuck are you bringing me these hand-drawn sketches? And he's like drawing stuff out and be like, "Oh, so what are we going to do here?" I don't understand why that's it's fucking stupid.
There was this one guy who was new, in my current line of work, and he could not find where he parked his truck. He thought it had been stolen. So he walked to somebody's house. He called the police and said, "Hey, the truck's been stolen." And then he called back to the office and said, "The truck's been stolen." So everybody rushes out there only to find that he parked the truck the next street over.
Nice. Oh, that's a good one. That's very good. Oh, you got to love those guys.
Oh, that's the best. Incompetent people just make my day.
So we had this one where I had to go deliver something to a job site. So we got the truck and it's got on top, it's got the little cage basically, so you can put stuff on top of the truck in the back, right? So he takes this really long pallet, right? And it's got a bunch of different little things on it, say like 10 different things on this pallet. So he puts it up on the rack up top and he puts one strap over it. Mm-mm. And I go out there and I'm like, well, being the driver, you're responsible, right? So I look at it and I go, "What the fuck is this? Like half the stuff or more, it's not even secured." I was like, you got to put more than one strap. He's like, "Oh, okay." Like, did you not even look at what you were doing?
Of course.
Yeah. Good stuff.
Of course not. Let's see. I was working, one of my first jobs was I was working in a restaurant and I was washing dishes. Go out to the walk-in freezer in the back to go get something. And there's the cook, hitting his bowl, just smoking up right in, right in the freezer before he goes back to cooking. So he was getting high as fuck.
Nice.
Good time. It was a 15, 16
sneaking a little bit of food too. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, hey, not to interrupt your game here. I like this.
Sure,
it was fun. You and I had talked, was it 2 weeks ago, about you writing a letter into a certain show?
Oh, yes.
Are you working on that? Is that going to happen?
I've almost started it. Okay. It's on my to-do list.
You have like 3 episodes left to get it done.
I know. There's an internal timer. It's ticking. Yeah. I'm aware of it. I got to do it. I was going to send you a draft, and that way you can, with your insight, you'll be able to provide some feedback and maybe give some tweaks to it. Yeah.
Just so the audience knows what we're talking about, and I'll go ahead and tell everybody because, nobody listens to the show anyways.
Well, do you really want to say something just in case word gets around?
Do you really think there's spies listening?
I don't know. Some people might be pretty spiteful.
You think so?
I don't know.
They would go through all that trouble to listen to this stupid podcast?
Well, I don't know how much longer or how long have we been recording, I guess is the question is how long are they going to, like, they might listen to the first 15 minutes, but maybe not this far. So they
haven't gotten this far. Yeah. They're like, "Oh, Rem's not drunk enough. I'm going to stop listening."
Yeah.
So all right, I'm going to fuck it. I don't care.
Oh, right? I'll do. Yeah. Well, we can talk about, I'm not a bad writer. I'm not going to toot my horn too much, but I could spice things up.
So Ray had asked me, about writing a letter to Triple T about, how episode 300 wouldn't be the same without Rem. And I had said to Ray, I said, if you're going to do that, you really got to be genuine about it. All right. You can't come off as like one of my listeners, one of my fans saying, "Oh, Rem needs to be there." It's like you have to talk about your memories of the show and all the memories you had when Rem was on the show, and that you're really going to miss what the show meant to you with when Rem was there or some nonsense like that. And also mention how you're crying, because tears always work.
Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
So the rest of you listening, if you want to write letters to Triple T and tell them how of your best memories of the show, yeah, that's what we were talking about, memories. Make sure that you're talking about the memories you have from episode 1 to episode 114. And be genuine about it. Don't be assholes, because if you're writing about your memories, you're not asking them to put me on the show. We're testing to see if they'll actually read the letter, and if it'll get through.
I would imagine that they can't have, dozens of letters coming in where they're going to say, "Oh, we're going to filter this one out." If they get something at all that sounds legit, they're going to read it.
Yeah. I mean, which apparently they don't have any letters for content, so they're going to read whatever they can get.
Well, and now that I'm thinking about it, if they do have spies, they're going to be so paranoid about anything they get from now on. God, they're going to literally be like, "Ooh, is this a troll letter?"
Yeah, no, man, Jesus Christ, we just ruined their episode 300. They're never going to do it. Here's the thing, is they didn't do one last week. I'm not over on Twitch right now checking to see if they're recording. But, they can push this one off as long as they can, because they got the quote unquote holidays to worry about.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I'm going to hop on Twitter now and see if they're actually recording. Oh, Chris texted me. Oh,
nice.
You got any, so all right. So at Jules Winfield, you've been around for a while, and you followed us into Liquor Fueled.
Yeah. So basically up until then you stopped, and I kind of lost interest in a lot of stuff. And then I went, yeah, I was like, well, what do I have to live for? Might as well just end it now. I don't have anyone to write to and tell me to go for a walk. So I don't know. And that's where, at that time I was listening to a lot of podcasts, and, going back to Warcraft, I remember there's kind of like a turning point. So I used to work for In-N-Out Burger. I don't know if that usually gets people going. They're like, "Oh, cool. What's it like?" I used to be a manager, so I know quite a lot about In-N-Out. Oh boy.
Okay.
So we could talk for a long time about In-N-Out, but this is a really long story that I won't go into, but I got fired, and it's really fun. It's really fun to get into that. But at this time I was on unemployment, and I was at the time going, yeah, I was like, fuck In-N-Out. I was like, I hate this place. I got fired from there. So I was like, as long as I can collect unemployment, the better, which looking back, not the best thing to do. And I remember playing Warcraft, and this lady, like I get into this raid group, right? And she's like, "Yeah, we're going to raid in like 5 minutes. We're good to go." And then she goes, "Oh wait, hold on. I'll be back in a second." And she comes back, a couple minutes later. "Oh, sorry. Got to cancel the raid. I got to go. They're going to cancel my food stamps. So I got to run down to the place and whatever." And I'm like, wow, talk about the stereotypes of Warcraft players. They're like, fuck, I got to get a job. Like, what the fuck am I doing? I went out and got a job like right after that. I was like, shit, I cannot be one of these people. Like, this is bad. But yeah.
I enjoyed playing Warcraft.
Yeah,
I enjoyed... there's nights where I'm sitting on the couch not doing anything because I got nothing going on outside of this podcast. Not like I have any friends, right? My friend lives in Queens and then in Colorado. but there were nights where you could just, whatever it is, it sticks out in my head. Just being in Dunmurrow, the snowy land outside the dwarf, and just in like questing at like 1 a.m. and chatting with some people in the guild. Those are the early days. And then later on, we had the raid team and reported for Awesome, and we were raiding twice a week, and we had a really good, like a really tight, connection with those, 8 or 10 people, whoever it was. And I miss that, right? But when I think about how much time that game took away from me and from my family, when I think about the times like, in the middle of a raid, I had gone upstairs to get something to drink and noticed that my son had thrown up in his sleep. And, you got to take care of that. You got to take care of your kid. You got to clean him up and get him up and change his sheets. And I remember thinking how angry I was that he threw up in his sleep, that I'm missing my raid. Yeah. And it's like, holy shit. When I reflected on that, it's like, wow, that's that is not the way to be thinking about this at all.
It's that same come to Jesus moment that I had where somebody's like, oh, my food stamps are going to get canceled.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, yeah, I gotta fucking get my shit together. Like I can't be playing this game this much.
Yeah. And I'm so glad that, Blizzard fucked everybody with the Siege of Orgrimmar patch. Because and leaving us there for so long, because it made me angry enough to want to quit and not enjoy the game anymore. And I'm glad I don't play anymore, and I don't have the temptation to go back in. That's not a thing. It's never going to happen. I play Diablo for 5 minutes once a month, right? I don't have the games in me, but I see these people who are right around my age and they're still playing this stupid game and giving a lot of their time to it. And it's like, oh, come on. There's so much more out there.
Yeah.
So much more you could be doing.
Well, and that's where if somebody wants to play that, I don't fault them for it. I mean, if they want to do, if somebody wants to do what they want to do, go ahead. And I understand if somebody's probably listening right now. They're like, fuck you guys. I love that game. I get it. I completely, I've been there. I still think that it's overall a good game. It's just not good for, 10 years, 20, to play forever, however long it's been around. Like there's other stuff out there. There's other things that take priority. Like how long do people play most games? Like a couple months,
Right. And this
so
game's been
moving on,
nothing
wrong with it. Yeah.
So what's funny is like when I first started playing, there was this in one of the first guilds I was in, there was this guy, Nicky was his name, and he would tell us how he was playing with his son. Like, oh, how old's your son? He's like, oh, he was just born. He's like 6 months old. So he's sitting there in his whole setup with his kid in his lap playing Warcraft. And I'm like making fun of this guy. Like, what a fucking loser. He needs to be taking care of his kids. And then, smash cut a couple years later, I'm upset at my kid for throwing up in his sleep and I'm missing my raid. And it's when I realized, oh shit, what a piece of shit I've become. So, I mean, now I play Pokemon Go with my boy. We go out to Middletown or we walk through Wesleyan University and we're out catching Pokemon, but we're doing it together. And we're out there, we're walking and we're talking about
doing
things.
Something.
Yeah. And it's a more enjoyable way to spend my time now rather than sitting in my basement away from everybody. I mean, and you probably remember this from Triple T, the first 20 something episodes I did in my dining room. After that, Fit and I moved everything into the basement. I set up a whole studio in the basement. Once that happened, I was in the basement every night come 9:00. Playing WoW or podcasting or doing something. And it became such a thing where like I was out with my family to go see fireworks. We got to get home by 9. We got to be home. We got to be home by 9:30 at the latest. I got shit to do. And that's just not the way. God, that's not a way to live life.
No. And that's why I feel like you and I have gone through a lot of the same stuff. That's why it's interesting because listening to the podcast, I'd always be like, man, we played for basically the same amount of time. And then, we kind of like when you ever talk about your marriage, I'm like, that's kind of like the same shit I'm going through where it's like when you're prioritizing the raid, your wife's like, or not, I don't know about your wife exactly. I'm saying my wife, she'll be like, well, if you're down to say, oh, I have to meet this time, this day of the week, but you're not going to make time for whatever else that we want to do. Yeah, they get mad and it's understandable why. And so it's like, well, once you get to a certain point, again, if there's people that like playing that game still, I don't have any issue with that. Like I said, I just bought the other expansion, Legion, and played for 2 months and it's fun. Like I ran around and killed some stuff and I think I got one guy to 120, the max level, and it's fun, but I'm not going to try and raid. I can't commit that time. Like I have a family. I have other things to do. Like I care about so many more things that I can't devote that much time because that game does require a high level of time.
Oh yeah. To be successful at it, you got to give a lot of time to it. Yeah. So I stopped playing 2014 and then I quit Triple T September 2014 and I kept with the Storm Ride deal until August of 2015. And so the period from August 2015 up until April of 2018 when Huel and I started doing this was very empty.
Yeah.
Professionally it was good. I came a long way, but man, I needed a creative outlet, and so here we are. So I think the excuse, here. No, I haven't told this one before, and you get this story.
Yes, exclusive.
Yeah. The excuse for starting this podcast was I had convinced myself I can make enough Patreon money for a car payment each month. I don't know why I convinced myself of that because the audience I once had did not come over to the show with me because this is a different show. I may have 1,723 Twitter followers. I don't have that many people listening to the show. And for the first couple weeks, first couple months, that started to bother me a little bit. But now it's just like, I'm at a point now we're 33 episodes in. I get to talk to Huel every week and I love talking to Huel. I've got people like you and JMT Lander and Svensson and everybody else. And I'm sorry if I forgot your name. Umaroni, I gotta say that, Sir Zero and Lori, my patrons, they listen to the show, they comment on it and they let us know, hey, I'm really enjoying what you're doing. And that's good. That's enough for me, where when I was doing Triple T, oh man, 2,500 downloads. That's not enough. We need more. We need more than that. What can we do to get more? I'm happy for the 6 people who listen every week. Thank you. Well, thank you for giving me a reason to keep going.
Yeah. That's like, I stream on Twitch and I don't really care my followers because I got to the point where you're at right now where I said, well, yeah, it'd be great to make money. And I actually just signed up so I can monetize it. I literally did that yesterday, but it's more not because I want to make money. There was a time where I was actually streaming. I was like, let me try and stream a bunch and get people to donate and it'll be great if I can make some money. But ultimately it's more about the relationships and just the quality time, right? It's just having a good time while you're doing whatever you're doing. It's quality over quantity, right? And like you're saying, the people that follow this show are great. I try and follow all the people that I see contribute to the show. And they're all great follows, like just on Twitter, whatever it is, whatever they're doing, they're just great people. Which speaks to the crowd that you bring, which I really enjoy all those people. And I'm not saying they're just, they're funny or whatever. Like they're just good people. So
it's good people. Yeah. Cause we want to bring them just an honest product. Triple T was fake. I'll just be honest with everybody. Triple T was fake. That was not the real person that I am. Maybe at the time it was. It isn't who I am now. A lot of times I would fake, the way I felt about a topic just because I wanted people to not, what's the word here? I didn't want to be controversial. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Yeah. So when Apple Cider Mage is on there talking about, got to give people equal rights, social justice, rah, rah, rah. I'm like, oh, yeah, sounds great. Social justice. Woo. I never believed any of that shit. This is just an honest podcast or just 2 dudes just talking to each other and having fun. This is just us and people enjoy it. And I'm so glad. I'm so grateful that there are people who enjoy it. I'll never make any substantial amount of money on this. And that's perfectly fine. The little bit we've had has gotten, so I'll tell everybody the Patreon money is paid for virtual audio cables and paid for our website name, richdickman.com. That's it. Yeah. And hey, thank you. Thank you guys so much for being a part of it. T-shirts, if we throw those out there just because, there are people who want something to represent their favorite show, right? Yeah. That's it. So I'm not looking to change the world. I'm not looking to make $1 million. I just want to put out something that everybody enjoys. Yeah. Well, I think it's this,
I really caught on because of your authenticity. So especially when it went to Liquor Fueled. So that's when I was like, well, this is super entertaining because there's no filter in a lot of ways. Right. And it's not that you're doing something that needs to be filtered. It's just that there's no one's trying to put on a front. And especially that's why as soon as I found this show, I was like, oh, hell yeah, this is amazing because you and Huel you sit and shoot the shit, right? You're just hanging out, talking, enjoying yourselves. And that's what, to me, I love that. And you guys are funny and it's super entertaining to me. But that's why I enjoy the show so much is it's not, no one's trying to, sell something. It's not a brand. You're not trying to, appease certain groups, nothing like, it's just literally 2 guys, just talking and it's super entertaining and it's funny. And I mean, Huel's fucking crazy.
Oh, see, Huel, the best part. What's great about Huel, and it was funny, I was having a text message back and forth with Alan from the Not for Human Consumption podcast over the weekend. At some point we might be calling into their show. That'd be fun. But he said his audience enjoys, Huel. And I was like, you know what? Of course they do, because Huel is living that life, and Huel will tell you this is not the way it should be, but Huel is living the life that all us men want to live. Okay.
Oh,
he's had a crazy history. He's a lawyer now. Whether or not the stories about the side piece are true, I don't know. I like to believe they are. And actually, I think they are. He knocked up one of his side pieces, and now it's his wife, and he's got a couple of kids, but he's still making it work for him. And it's just, it's a great story.
Yeah.
And it's a real story. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he doesn't have the 3 cares that every other guy has. He's just like, you know what? Fuck it. I don't care. What are you going to do?
And he doesn't, I don't know exactly how I was going to say it, but he doesn't, say things unless he's a complete psychopath, which maybe he is, that you can't make that up. You can't give that much detail unless you're a complete psychopath.
Yeah.
And I will say, he is a legitimately nice guy. Cause I remember when in Liquor Fueled, he was giving out his phone number, and I texted him one time, and I was like, hey, and I was like, dude, this has gotta be a fucking fake number, right? So I texted him, and he texted me back, and I was like, oh shit, that's really him. And then he even said something about it on the podcast, and I was like, holy shit, that is his number. Yeah. And then at one point, like, I was, starting to do this blog, and they were like, hey, we want to get you on board with this company, and here's a contract, right? So I was like, oh shit, I don't know much about contracts. So I put it on Twitter, and he got back to me. He's like, oh, I'll look at the contract. And he literally looked at it and gave me a breakdown of what it is. So, I mean, he's a lawyer. Like, he literally broke it down, like, legalese, like which is super nice. And I hope, that I didn't just throw
everybody's looking.
Everyone's going to send him
now.
like, where's my free shit? Yeah. This was only like 2 pages or 3 pages of legal stuff. Okay, guys, it wasn't like a huge contract. Okay. I just want to make that clear. He doesn't do it for everybody. I assume it's not all pro bono. Yeah. Hopefully I didn't he's going to be so mad if all of a sudden he gets a tidal wave of things. But the other thing, I wrote down, these are the 3 things that I had to write these down. I fucking took notes of this basically when I listen to the show, I'm like running or at the gym. So it's hard for me to take notes. These are 3 things that he said that were so fucking funny. I had to make a note of it. You mind if I read these?
No, go for it.
1, as you were, I don't know, you were talking about something. He said, do you jerk off in a fish tank? And then 2, he said, what if I was your fetish? Which is fucking funny. And then the third one, I don't know if I can, I might not be able to get this one out. Okay. He's fucking so funny. Oh my God, it's so funny. He said, I just wanted to lay my dick across your eyebrows. And it was funny because at some point somebody said something, maybe it was one of the listeners said something, but I was like, man, I should make a little segment to submit every week, because somebody said something about Huel hitting it out of the park every week. And usually it's at the end. And I was like, dude, I should just take a clip of the one phrase he says and just add some, like, a bat hitting a ball and then a crowd cheering and like an announcer, oh, and it's gone. And just say, like, here was where Huel, and just say, like, here's Huel's line. Just put that clip in there. It says, dude, I just want to lay my dick across your eyebrows, and then crack. And then
yeah, that's birth of a segment. Like Huel's line, the crack of a bat hitting a ball, and the crowd erupting. Yeah, so it's your job now, God. Ray. That's your job.
Oh, we'll see. I'll try. We'll see.
All right.
We'll have to have another discussion about my editing skills, but yeah, go ahead.
Hey, it takes practice, man. It takes practice.
It is. It all sounds choppy to me because you can hear every little detail that you worked on,
Are you talking about my editing? Fuck
no,
you.
mine. No, okay. mine. Every time I edit something, I hear every cut because I cut it. You know what I mean? So it's like, well, how does everybody else hear it? But we can talk about that later.
Yeah, that's a secret.
I don't think they do.
Yeah. You guys, nobody's ever complained to me about my editing because you guys don't notice much of it. So yeah, fuck off. Leave my editing alone.
Yeah. Well, we'll talk about that later. Man, I got a lot of comments on that.
Oh, son of a bitch. I'm deleting this episode.
All right. That's fine.
All right. Ray, we're coming to the end of it here. Okay. I'm gonna allow you one more question.
Can I, how about this? Can I have you read an email that I get at work?
Yeah.
Let me post this in the show notes real quick. I think I got it.
What am I reading this in a voice? Like,
this
what's
is
happening?
No. Okay. So hold on.
There it is.
Sort of long. Yeah. So this is, okay, let me give a little preamble. So at work, we do a lot of bidding projects where we don't want to ever have an email come in and get filtered to the junk mail. So we I get every email, and some of them are junk mail, and I do a lot of purchasing and stuff. So I visit some sites looking for weird, wacky stuff. So here's a crazy junk phishing email that I got. And if you read this, it's pretty fucking funny. But I think you would enjoy it. I think you'll enjoy it.
All right, here we go.
And it's spelled terrible. Just so you know, as a heads up, the spelling and the grammar is awful.
I see that just in the first couple of sentences. Yeah. I'm going to read this as it is written. I will not be changing anything or adding my own lines. I'll be reading as written. Okay. Oh, wait, let me get a sip of my rye.
This is going to be, I love this one. This is one of my favorites.
Okay. Hello. If you were more alert while caress yourself, I wouldn't worry you. I don't think that playing with yourself is very terrible, but when all colleagues, relatives, and friends get video of it, it is obviously for you. I placed a virus on a porn website which you have visited. When the target tap on a play button, the device starts recording the screen and all cameras on your device begins working. Moreover, my program makes a remote desktop supplied with keylogger function from your system, so I could save all contacts from your email, your spelled U-R, messengers, and other social networks. I'm writing on this email because it's your working address, so you must read it. My opinion, 640 USD is pretty enough for this little misstep. I made a split screen video, records from screen, interesting category, and camera, ooh, it's funny. Up sign F.
I think it's supposed to be AF, like as AF. Fuck.
Oh,
I think
so
that's
it's funny AF. Yeah, okay.
It's bad.
So it's your choice. If you want me to erase your disgrace, use my Bitcoin wallet address and a bunch of googly here.
Yeah.
You have one day after opening my message. I put the special tracking pixel in it, so when you will open it, I will see. If you want me to show you the proofs, reply on this message and I will send my creation to 5 contacts that I've got from your contacts. P.S. You can try to complain to cops, but I don't think they can solve your problem. The Inquisition will last for 1 year. I'm from Estonia, so I DGF LMAO. That's great. You get a lot of those, huh?
God. Oh my God, the countless emails. It's fucking amazing. Oh my God. They're so great. The best part. So the work, like my work computer, 1, there's no camera. 2, I don't go to porn sites. No. And then 3, I'm from Estonia, so IDGFLMAO.
Yeah.
It's fucking amazing. Yeah. I want to put that on a t-shirt.
You can try to complain to cops, but I don't think they can solve your problem. The Inquisition will last for 1 year. Hey, can you send me like one of those a month?
Yeah. Oh man. Well, I'm changing jobs at the beginning of the year, so I won't get those anymore.
Well,
but I got a stash. I got a stash.
Fucking asshole. Changing your job. All right. That was good. Thank you for contributing that. All right. Ray, how do our listeners find you on the intranet?
So it's at Jules Winfeld on Twitter, and it's Winfeld because Winfield is too long when I made it in Warcraft. So anyway.
Oh, is it Winfeld?
Yeah, it's supposed to, well, Winfield is the real guy's name in the movie.
I've said Winfield for 6 years now. I've said Winfield. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's how it's supposed to be said, but it's actually Winfeld. In case people are, no wonder no one's ever followed me on Twitter. No, but same thing on Twitch. I stream on Twitch every once in a while if you guys care about. I don't really get on there too often, but every once in a while. But that's kind of really it. I keep a low profile for the most part.
Okay. Ray, I'd like to say thank you for all your contributions lately to the show. I'm so glad you found the show. Your engagement with the show has led to other people's engagement with the show, saying, like, basically telling them it's okay and we're going to have fun with it. So I appreciate what you've given us. And, thank you for coming on tonight and hosting with me in these troubling dark times without Huel. And I think you feel the same way. I hope Huel has expended at least 2 sterile loads in our honor tonight.
You'd hope at least.
Yeah. You know what would be funny? Like if he didn't get all those loads out and got one non-sterile load.
Just one more baby.
And then he's got another baby.
Oh my God. He would never live that down because it's well documented on the podcast.
That's a perfect Huel story. You know, that's a perfect Huel story. Yeah.
Oh shit. Well, I will say the reason I enjoy contributing to the show is because one, you're so gracious to actually accept anything, and you guys are talented enough to do whatever you can with I just fucking make weird random shit. You guys are the ones that make it happen.
Yeah, we're not talented. We're just drunk.
Well, yeah. That's me.
Well, we got Ray fucked up tonight. All right, go to richdickman.com and you will find all the latest happenings in the Rich Dickman Show. Those fuckers bought richdickmanshow.com. Don't go there. And they also bought therichdickmanshow.com. Those motherfuckers. But you can go to richdickman.com and you'll see everything that has to do with our show. Follow Mama Rem on Twitter at Rem_Mama. Follow producer Ryan on Twitter at RyanTRDS. If anything does happen at richdickman.com, you can credit producer Ryan for that because he is currently learning how to WordPress. And you can follow Huel at WowHuelhauser, WOWHUELLHOWSER. Go to Amazon.com, search Rich Dickman, buy yourself a t-shirt for the Christmas holidays, give it to your friends, give it to your enemies, give it to your boss. That would be, you know what? If you're going to an independent wrestling show like I am on December 15th in Queens with producer Ryan and Chris OC, get yourself an El Abogado Luchador Attorney t-shirt and wear it because I will be wearing mine. That's right. All right. Dynavap.com. If it's legal where you live, go to Dynavap.com, get yourself a vaporizer. I think you can use it with tobacco. That's not what it's designed for. Anyways, TRDS at checkout gets you 10% off. Email us, richdickmanshow@gmail.com if you would like, or tweet us at Rich Dickman Show. I am Remgar at Remgar, REMGHAR. Ray, once again, I'd like to thank you for giving us your time and all of your words tonight. Thank you for coming on. It's been a pleasure.
Completely my pleasure. I just enjoyed the entire time. I appreciate you taking the time to have me on.
You're goddamn right. I'll take on anybody who tells me how great I am. And this is the first podcast I've done with a fan. So this has been an enjoyable experience. You've been amazing. So thanks a lot. And that'll do it. That'll do it for us tonight. Oh, the Google Voice number. If you God damn it, Rem, it's a voicemail. Call the Dickman line. 860-316-4776. Huel will be back next week, and we can do Thinking with Your Dickman all over again. Thinking with Your Dickman coming on episode 34.
Yeah, with a whole range of ages in that
yes.
voicemail.
That's 860-316-4776. All right. Thank you all for listening. We'll see you again. Huel will be back next week. Ray, thanks one more time. And good night, everybody. That was good. You did good.
Oh, thanks.
You did good job.
I just, like I said, it's just fun to, I've listened to so many of your podcasts that I just enjoy. It's just like a nice chance to talk to you. We could get into a million things, I'm sure. Just old Warcraft stuff, old Triple T stuff. Just.
Well, why didn't you bring them up, you asshole?
Because there's only an hour and a half. That's what I'm saying. We could go.
Oh, yeah, I could keep an hour and a half. I got, all right, I got to share this Dropbox with you. Share.
Yeah. Well, the other thing I was going to say, hey, you can buy those t-shirt launchers for, they got one on Amazon for like $30. The good ones are $700, but you can buy.
What am I going to do with a t-shirt launcher, dude? Where am I going?
To shoot the El Abogado shirts in the crowd. Imagine taking like a fucking huge, like the hiking backpacks full of those things rolled up into a wrestling event and just sitting there in the stand from the top. Yeah, from the top. Or
yeah. And shoot some fat guy in the stomach with it. Yeah. Fuck you, blank. Fat guy.
Yeah. Hey, you don't fit in this shirt.
Yeah.